So here's a problem from the skills check number 1, and this should cover targets A and target B. So first of all, the degree and name of the function. For degree, I'm going to find the leading term. And I will do that by taking any coefficient and any x with an exponent and the number in front. So I've got 1/2 x squared and negative x to the third. Negative 1 to the third is -1, so that's why the half becomes a -1/2, and x squared times x to the third is x to the fifth. So this right away tells me my degree and my leading coefficient. Because it is an odd degree, the arrows will point one up, one down. And because it is a negative slope, leading coefficient, it will have sort of a negative slope or a negative trend. So we'll start high and end low. For the constant or the y-intercept, I'll put 0 in for x and figure out what y is. So my constant or y-intercept is 8 or 0,8. For the roots, I will set each factor equal to 0. So those are my two roots. You can show the work of adding 4 on both sides for the first one. And then maximum number of turning points is always the degree minus 1. So for the calculated turning points, I need to use my calculator. So when I open up my calculator, I will go to y equals and I will put in my equations. So I had 1/2 and then I had x minus 4 in parentheses squared. And then I had 1 minus x raised to the third. So my graph looks like that. I can mess with my window a little bit. I don't know why my y is going all the way up to 10. It does not need to do that. I'm sorry, all the way up to 40. And so you can see that we have a wiggle like we thought, and we have a bounce. And so the only turning point on here that isn't already shown by the wiggle and the bounce is right here. It's a low point, so that's a minimum. So I will go second, trace, minimum, and it says left bound. So I just want to be somewhere to the left of the minimum. And then it says right bound. So I'll hit the right arrow until I am definitely to the right of that. And then I will say guess. So it tells me this is like 2.79, but the 9 would round up. So 2.8 and negative 4.2. So now I can make my graph, and I need to have labels. I need to have x-intercepts, y-intercepts, and turning points. And I'm looking at the shape of the graph. It's going to start high, then it's going to go through 1 and 4. It's going to bounce at 4 and wiggle at 1. So it's got to come down and go through 8. It's got to come through here with a wiggle, and you can even label that it has a wiggle. It's going to go down, it's going to come back up and bounce and go down. Then the last thing that we'll need to label on here is the 2.8 comma negative 4.2. So that's a graph with some details that goes along with what I have in the parts above. It's very hard to show you the whole thing. And now I just need my domain and range. So domain is going to be all the way left, all the way right, so negative infinity to infinity. And the range, if I had an absolute max or an absolute min with both the arrows pointing the right way or the same way, then the range would have a number in it. But as it is right now, they're both from negative infinity to positive infinity. So remember, that's always low to high, and the only time you need a square bracket is if you have a number. So an example of that is one that we did in class, where here we have an absolute maximum, so our range goes only as high as 4.27, and it is a square bracket there.